Welcome to Storytime. Before Sora can head out to settle things with Ansem, he has to take care of some unfinished business. He swings by Traverse Town to return Pongo and Perdita's puppies. Y'all thought I forgot. I didn't forget. He also hits up the Colosseum, where Hades is getting real tired of heroes winning all the cups and decides to enter himself. But of course Sora defeats him. Hades even sends out the Rock and Ice Titans, but our heroes win the day and Phil finally has to admit that they're probably, possibly, kind of hero material. The last order of business is to put all the lost pages back in Winnie the Pooh's book. He helps Pooh get some honey, then gets him unstuck from Rabbit's window with Piglet and Tigger's help. He helps Eeyore find his tail and Roo learn to bounce, and then leads Pooh through a maze. Although personally, that's about where I ran out of patience playing, so I actually never finished that part. Hashtag Kingdom Hearts Confessions. Once everyone's together and the book is repaired, they all hang out and watch the stars together, and Sora is reminded of the power of friendship. You know, in case he forgot it sometime in the last 20 minutes. At length, he decides he should probably go save the universe or whatever, and returns to Hollow Bastion. Once he's there, Beast tells Sora the princesses have stayed inside the castle to hold back the darkness coming from the final keyhole, beyond which Ansem is waiting. The Final Fantasy crew comes in for backup, returning to their home for the first time in years. They've also come to say goodbye to Sora, since restoring the worlds that fell to darkness will restore the walls that separated them, making travel between them difficult if not impossible. They promise they won't forget Sora, which is hilariously ironic given some of the stuff that's going to go down later. The princesses use their power to help Sora seal the final keyhole, stopping the flow of darkness. They've detected another presence in the castle though, so Sora goes to check it out. Xemnas, his face hidden, has come to test Sora to see if he'll be useful to the organization. He tells Sora that he's incomplete, and engages him in a short but tough battle before vanishing. Afterwards, he goes to the Dark Margin, the border of the Realm of Darkness where Roxas is sitting alone. Xemnas tells him that he's been to see Sora, but Roxas is still bereft of much personality and doesn't seem to understand what that means. He's been in the organization for almost a week now, so Sai starts sending him out on missions with the other organization members to learn the basics. At the same time, the newest member of the organization is introduced, Xion, a replica of Roxas who lacks a real face, memory, or personality. It absorbs some of his power, enabling it to use a copy of the Keyblade that can still harvest hearts. Until they're sure exactly how it'll affect Roxas though, the organization is going to keep them separate for now. Sora, Donald, and Goofy are heading towards End of the World, where all the remaining fragments of the worlds that have fallen into the darkness have gathered. It's essentially a heartless world, which is real comforting, so naturally they head right in. They make their way through the bizarre landscape, fighting in dark versions of all the worlds they've been to and coming up against a legitimately terrifying demon Chernobog. Seriously, that thing gave me nightmares when I was little. They come to what's left of the Destiny Islands, where Ansem's waiting for them. They have a breezy fight on the beach, but Ansem decides it's not Final Fantasy enough and goes deeper into the darkness to become a massive heartless ship. He and Sora fight in full view of the door to darkness, behind which is Kingdom Hearts, which Ansem is still insisting is made of the darkness in people's hearts. After a truly ludicrous boss fight, Ansem makes a last-ditch effort to open the door to darkness, but turns out he's a big old dummy and Kingdom Hearts is most definitely made of light, which he learns by being blasted away by it. Sora, Donald, and Goofy try to push the door closed as Heartless get ready to escape by the hundreds, and Riku appears to pull from the other side. His body has returned to his heart, but there's two things to note. One, his heart was on the Realm of Darkness side of the door and only beings of darkness can use it. Second, the core of Ansem's darkness is still inside Riku and that's going to be an issue a little later. King Mickey appears and tells them everything is copacetic because they can find the door to light to come back, so he and Sora use their respective Keyblades to seal the door. Kairi appears in front of Sora because the worlds and people that fell to darkness are being restored, but he chooses to stay where he is because he doesn't want to go back unless he can bring Riku with him. The two have to separate, promising that they'll meet again. The stars in the sky all come back as the worlds are reborn. For the people who lived on the worlds, time has essentially stopped, so everything's back the way it was. Some worlds, while restored, are left sleeping, forming dreams of their past. We're not going to deal with that for a good long time, but just keep it in mind. All the people from Traverse Town return to their various worlds, and Leon and friends get to work on rebuilding Hollow Bastion. Pinocchio turns into a real boy, and the princesses all get to go home and make out with their princes, except for Alice of course. The worlds are repaired, but once again separated by their barriers. The world that held the door to darkness has returned as well, and that's where Sora, Donald, and Goofy are now. They find Pluto, who's been running all over the world somehow, and seems to have met with King Mickey before he had gone into the other realm. He runs off with a note whose contents we actually don't know at this point, with Sora and friends running after him. Unfortunately for them, they're about to play right into the organization's hands.
Thanks for watching Storytime. If you'd like to see more, you can subscribe, or you can follow me on Twitter or Tumblr to get updates when new videos come out. See you soon!